This should do it. People can see us. They can hear us. They can smell us. It's so exciting.
Sorry.
Well, man, I'm excited we can all be here together. It's going to be another fun night. We're going to keep things classy as always. And I definitely, I feel like we need to draw some attention to the beautiful new face on the screen here. Who are you? Who is this mysterious stranger?
That's me.
Yeah, it's Chuck.
We know you.
Everybody knows you, stranger.
Bad choice of words. Okay, so we know who the mysterious stranger is, but who is the beautiful bastard?
Oh, that's you.
Okay, all right.
You keep asking really easy questions.
All right.
I'm Dion, also known as Substances Used. This is me in chat. Hi, everyone. You've probably seen me doing some of the BFRPG one-shots with Chuck and the gang every now and then, but I'm here to be a superhero. So, just what I always wanted.
I'm super excited. We're all super excited you're here, and so I'm very excited for the character that you're bringing to the table, and I would really appreciate if you could share the joy of this new hero with the audience.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing the businessman known as Harry Lane. Harry Lane moonlights as the superhero Fast Grass, who gains speedster powers that are unfathomable to be measured by any sort of science due to the magical power of the Devil's Lettuce, aka marijuana, aka Mary Jane.
That's just delightful. I'm really excited to see what you pull off. Of course, we do have the original mysterious stranger, Chuck. How are you? You beautiful son of a bitch.
Hey, I am Chuck. This is Defenders of Kobold. I run this shindig. And yeah, I'm playing the mysterious stranger. I forget what his real name is. He's a mysterious stranger.
He's had so many names. He's been around forever.
Yeah. He is currently running around as a beach hippie. I did adjust my powers a little bit. Okay. I had telepathy, but then as soon as I figured out I could use shapeshifting to turn into animals and wreck shit, that's all I did. So I dropped telepathy and I took Jeff's old power of animal manifestations. So I'm just leaning hard and heavy into turning into dinosaurs and shit and just smashing things.
It has to go to somebody.
It's true.
To you.
There, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I got.
I'm so excited for that. And then of course we have Dan, who's also going through a little bit of a transition, I think.
Yeah, I think we're still fighting with the mechanics of the game a little bit itself, but I think we're leaning with sticking with shortcut and keeping those core powers, and then finding some flexible ways to kind of manipulate them on the fly, for a little more interest in combat, but still keeping the core of shortcut there.
Yeah, I dig it. I mean, I'm not going to say that every DM in the world would be like, God damn it, this son of a bitch can do divination and create portals. What the hell? But it's also been really awesome. You've used your powers really well. And, I just have to respect that.
It's kind of a load of crap. I mean...
But it's like it's a bouquet of crap. It's like it's a mixture that I enjoy,
Everyone enjoys their own fragrance, don't they?
It's true. It's very earthy.
Chasm
hints of corn.
Rot with danger. Boop boop. Bye.
Yep. Love it. Oh man. And then keeping it classy, always our talented maestro Jake here. What have you got for us, friend?
Well, I'm Jake. I'm with the Defenders of Kobold, and I'm playing a Hollywood actor turned occultist superhero, Dr. Karloff, who can manipulate the powers of darkness and time.
That's awesome. And it turns out you have a recent side gig as a producer too, I think, right?
Yeah, seeing as I'm basically enslaved to the evil Hollywood agents, the agents of evil, one might call them. I'm trying to get my own movie studio kickstarted in an attempt to both revive the careers of some downtrodden family friends and also to maybe one day challenge the powers that be that control my soul.
I am all about that. That sounds amazing. And then, we have our big, beautiful bear. Last but not least, Jeff, tell us about yourself.
What do you call him big? Like, after what we just talked about. Okay, that's fine. I'm Jeff. I run Adventures in Lollygagging, twitch.tv/lollygaggers. We play various games, including some of the people that you see on the screen. Saturday, we're playing Best Left Buried at like 5 Central. And on Monday at 9 Central, we're playing Alien with Chuck, with Jeremy. And you'll see Dan in our Vason game on every other week, too. I am playing the Hellhammer, Barry Grant. Barry Grant used to be known as the Missing Link, but after a very long and brutal trek through hell, it turned out that he had a demon in his brain for a really long time.
His brain?
Yeah, and then through the powers of Santa, got rid of that demon, gained new powers, left hell, but it turns out that this demon stuff it's not behind him, as he is a circus performer. And his circus has apparently been like training him to like be the avatar of a demon. And when Barry rejected it, apparently got kicked out of the circus and then got baited into murdering an innocent man because Jeremy does stuff like that.
I'm a good person.
So was Barry.
He's still mostly good.
Yeah.
I mean, so, technically the circus is complicit with being evil.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, he thought he was murdering an evil carny.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's under normal circumstances, it's just kind of like assumed.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm not really going to get in legal trouble for it because it is, I mean, it's, what is it, 1960? Did anyone care about I mean, I learned from Carnival, and they told me like dead carnival people in the 60s don't matter, or the 30s or whatever that was. Yeah. So I think I'm okay.
I saw American Horror Story. You're fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Sweet.
They're not going to go to the cops, but within their own little community, they're going to remember you.
I did think about taking the advancement, and I still might at some point. We'll talk about it. You could apparently fake your death of your civilian identity. And so I was thinking we should talk about that at some point where maybe I have to fake my death. And so I'm no longer Barry Grant, the former circus performer. I'm something else.
Oh, Shortcut can help you with that.
There we go.
Well, yeah, that sounds that does sound like a lot of fun. I suppose that's at least one way I could kill Barry.
Okay, what?
Nothing. So, there we were. We've recently escaped from hell. Everybody's kind of chilling out, doing some of their own personal stuff. When the H of the Hollywood sign comes to life and tries to tear apart your domicile, Shortcut is there. He witnesses it, stomps it. You all kind of gather back together, and through a bit of interrogation and investigation, you find out that one Tommy Splicer, who had been previously devoured, has been resurrected by the demon prince that you upset while in hell. And he's got some fancy new powers that would be very dangerous in the hands of somebody more competent, but fortunately he's a burned out old stoner.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his powers make him kind of a natural enemy to my character, though.
Oh my God, is there a "cause I'm a good"? Oh wow, there's a "cause I'm a good person" thing now. I'm so happy.
You're welcome.
You are a good person.
I don't know what else to do now. Like, that really just made me incredibly happy. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted.
That's great.
But yeah, so unfortunately, this Tommy Splicer fella, he was trying to get revenge on the group, but he was not a terribly competent villain, and the heroes made him very aware of that. So at this point, his demonic patron has instructed him to go hunt down some of the civilian allies of the group, and we have currently split off. We've got the mysterious stranger and Shortcut are going to try and find Greg Futterman the acting coach / director and producer of Schlock that you guys have befriended. I believe Hellhammer was going to go try and find Uncle Creepy, the beloved old hand of the studios that is the host of a lot of horror movie situations. And then there's also Commissioner Gordon, who is the guy who calls you on the bad phone. And I think we might start with that. We're gonna jump almost directly into combat after we set a couple things up. So, Dr. Karloff, you were just outside of the police station. You kind of had your little altercation with Graham and Perry Lewis from Wolfram and Hart. They had gotten into the car and started to drive away, but then the car stops, and you see one of the windows roll down. You know what? I think we are going to take you up on your offer to come to the set, and it just seems like a bit of professional courtesy. Then we heard that there's an issue over at the police station at town. You're friends with Commissioner Gordon, aren't you?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to look dead at him and not say a word.
Okay, well, that's understandable. Well, that police station is under attack. We could give you a ride if you want. You probably don't need it.
I'll teleport away.
All right. Oh, so you hear them start to call out after you as you teleport away, but you don't hear what they say.
Yeah.
That's kind of ideal. So yeah. Yes, it might take you a couple of teleports to get there because you kind of have to have like line of sight, basically. You're going to be able to get there pretty quickly. You're an old hand at this. It's later on at night, so there's ample shadows available for you to use your powers. You'll be there very quickly. As you arrive at the police station, you see several of those. Do you remember like the robed cultists that were attacking that the guy who had like the bookshop?
Yeah.
They've got it almost looks like the signs of chaos or whatever on them. There are several of them who are basically assaulting a police station. And the cops are laying down returning fire, but you think you see about 10 of them, but you see another one who seems to be, he stands out amongst the others. He has a little bit more distinguished robes. And you see him kind of like putting up some sort of barrier that they can shoot their fire bolts through, but the bullets are not penetrating. And that's kind of what you see as you approach that station.
Jeez.
No big deal. Just some cultists, some, assault on precinct 17. Meanwhile, we switch over to there's a large park in one of the slightly more upscale areas of town where we have Dan and Chuck. Kind of, you were heading off after Mr. Futterman. Mm-hmm. And you are heading that direction. Dan, I'll give you a free roll on your is it divination? I forgot the word
Clairvoyance.
for yeah, clairvoyance. I'll give you had mentioned like checking in on him. You've got the power for it, so I'll give you a free roll on it.
All right. Give me a second here and we'll see if that's boy, I'm gonna be just over by 2.
If you spent a hero point, you'd be down a hero point at the start of the encounter, but you might be able to see what's going on before you get there.
Yeah, it might be worth doing. So I'll go and do that.
Okay. You do and you do. You push yourself, so I roll a chaos dice, but nothing happens and nothing came up on the pip. So you're able to see that he is at like, what would be a fun name for a park in like an upper scale of town in this weird city?
Mm-hmm.
But no, you can see that there's like a big public rally going on in the park. You've got lots of different booths and whatnot. Several different businesses have displays for people, but you also see that kind of in a more central area, You've got Jeff Otterman, that guy who was on the TV during the Halloween session. He's clearly kind of taken this big gathering as an opportunity to get up on stage, and he's mouthing off lots of anti-monster rhetoric, talking about, the danger that the children were put in recently during Halloween, talking about the violence that's been happening around the city, all the craziness, the murders that happened on a live broadcast. There's even, he even has heard from a legitimate source that one of the heroes has recently killed a person on the outskirts of town. They have been seen obviously aiding and abetting a known criminal, as Dr. Karloff has been, assisting Big Frankie. So he is A, surprisingly well informed, and B, doing his darndest to kind of incite all of these more upscale, majority human residents. He's clearly kind of trying to work them up into an anti-monster rhetoric. And amidst the crowd, there are a couple of one of the in the crowd yelling against him is your friend Greg Futterman. Like, man, that's bullshit, and you know it. But he's being drowned out. But you do have a handful of people, and he's one of the few people in the crowd who is actively trying his best to yell over this jerk. Nice. But you see some of the cultists closing in on him in the crowd.
Well, I came up with a name for it too, maybe just.
Oh yeah,
Holiday Park.
Holiday Park. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Perfect.
I thought of a park that's near us. I was like, oh yeah.
Okay, there we go. Holiday Park. I'm writing it down. So yeah, you can see that, and on what you're approaching, you see several people in the crowd are potential cultists, and you see them all kind of sneaking in on your friend.
Who we saving? Oh, I was asking Dan, who we saving?
I think what was his name? Futterman?
Yeah, Greg Futterman. He's the guy who's like the acting coach, the schlock producer.
Apparently, he's about to get jumped in the crowd.
Yeah, that is definitely what it looks like. And also, so then meanwhile, we have Uncle Creepy. Hellhammer, you use do you actually like summon forth like a sleigh?
So what my secondary power, in addition to the beautiful Hellhammer that newly named shortcut was able to get for me in Hell, my secondary power is actually transmutation. So I have the ability to kind of cause objects to transform, like their shape, their size, their material composition, because that's how Santa got all the presents into his giant bag. And so I have taken that power. So I actually have, like, in the inside of my coat, I have like a little pocket, and inside of that I have like a hot rod, like a little Hot Wheel that's basically like kind of a hot rod looking sleigh. And so I pull it out, make it big with my transmutation power, and that's how I drive everywhere. And then I tighten it back up and put it back in my pocket.
I love it. So yeah, you lickety split, you fly on your hot rod sled, and you get over to the old movie studio, where once again, that poor old bastard, all he wants to do is just kind of give a nice little monologue for the kids and talk about, like, this is a classic. This is a classic. This is the beast from 50,000 fathoms. And, he's going on some diatribe about the people that directed it and what the monster was based on. And he's really excited about what he's talking about. And he's completely clueless that several of the people in the studio audience are clearly kind of moving in on him. Once again, you're familiar with the signs of it, but he's completely oblivious. And then, behind him, he's got like all his goofy stage props, like really lame tentacle arms that are kind of like moving behind him and stuff like that. But he's really excited.
Is there like a fire alarm anywhere I can like just hit? If I look around, could I potentially see like something where I could just, I'm not sure if they have them.
You could give it a quick look. Why not?
So I like seeing that he's like, there's people encroaching on him. I'm gonna throw the fire alarm, and I'm just gonna scream like really loud because I don't care. Fire! Fire! Everyone's gonna die! And just to get the crowd going.
That sounds delightful. If you've got any skills that you want to apply towards that to see how effective you are, I mean, it's going to work to some extent no matter what.
Sure. So I am going to perform for an audience. I'm going to really sell the fact that I'm deathly afraid that there's a fire that's about to burn me and everybody in here, if that's okay.
Right. I love it.
I am an entertainer.
You are an entertainer. It's true.
I am, you son of a bitch. I failed, but I will spend a hero point if that's okay.
Yes.
Can I spend it? Okay, I'll spend a hero point and start the scene with fewer. So yeah, I need the 90. I rolled a 95.
Nice.
So yeah,
when
I'll
you
just
push,
scream.
That's wonderful. When you push, you do roll a chaos dice. You did get a pip on the chaos dice when I rolled it for you. I'm not gonna make it. Doesn't make any sense for you to take damage from that, but I think it's fair to say that you're making such a scene of yourself. You make yourself extremely obvious to the villains on the scene. Like,
okay, fair enough.
You know,
okay
maybe by putting so much effort into directing the people at you as the combat opens, they're going to get a little bit of a bonus on their first strike to you.
Okay. As people are running past, though, I'm gonna and I see them looking at me, and I'm looking at them because I want to fight at this point. Yeah. I'm gonna pull out a tiny, a little toothpick-sized hammer from my pocket and just begin to draw it a little bit bigger with my chance. So I'm getting the hammer ready. I'm just kind of,
nice.
Go dance, sons.
I like it. I love it. Now let's switch to the golden boy, as it were. You said you think your character probably would have been at the park.
Hollywood. He's been chatting up with prospective business clientele, people that are in contracts with his insurance company that he works for, just shooting the shit and being all personable. But once he starts hearing the anti-monster rhetoric, he's gonna his clientele are kind of done chatting with him at this point. He's gonna kind of say his goodbyes and be like, I'm gonna head out of here. This is getting a little intense for me with this propaganda stuff going on. He's gonna excuse himself and dip around the corner of a hallway or something and just take out a little toker and just relax a bit and get his bearings and read the situation. If I can do
that's perfect.
Skill.
Read the situation. That's excellent.
Yeah, so I roll a D100. And I have to beat the 90 or get under it?
You have to meet or get under.
Okay, cool.
So that's you're amazing at reading a situation.
Yeah, I rolled an 85 and it's a 90 normally.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do. That's outstanding. So not only you're able to pick out, there's some dude in the audience who's you pick him out, you kind of you peg him as somebody who's doing his best to rally against him, but he's being drowned out by these assholes in the crowd because there has been a lot of craziness in this city of late. There's some cause. This guy is clearly stoking them into a fervor, but he's doing his best to speak out. It's not working, and you do see these people kind of closing in on him. You're not necessarily familiar with the insignia on them, but when people are kind of closing on somebody, you pick that out. And not only that, but because you rolled so high, you got nearly max on a roll, I'll say that you even notice in the background, kind of approaching from the shadows, that son of a bitch who stiffed you on a dime bag once.
That bastard. Can I use my powers right now?
Yeah, man, we're about to start into initiative, but I think because you're not a known quantity, I think it's fair that you might have a chance to do something because none of these guys have any reason to be on the lookout for you.
All right, so as I'm taking Toka tea stick, as you might call it, I'm gonna chill out, like I said, and as I'm relaxing, everything kind of starts to get real slow as I notice everyone approaching the dude and seeing everything kind of coalescing. And I'm just gonna, as everything continues to slow down even slower and slower, I just kind of take off my button up, and I have my little outfit underneath, and it's this on my chest.
Of course.
And there's like a little zoom, like motion blur behind it, like it's like going in a direction, you know what I mean? And I'm just gonna put my hands in my pocket and just, as everything like almost goes to a standstill, just walk through and kind of like move by people. And even though like they can't notice I'm there, I'm still being like, excuse me, man, sorry, dude, hold on a sec, excuse me, and kind of grab the dude that they're coalescing on, Futterman, that's his name.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move him back around that corner I was at, like out of sight and out of mind of everybody, and just like go back to normal speed and be like, hey man, we're just gonna hang out here for a little bit, you want a hit of this?
That sounds delightful. Give me a super speed roll. That's your primary power, right?
Yeah, so 80%.
Yep.
That's a 43.
And that's an excellent description as well. So I think it's fair to roll a couple of boon dice for you. You did. So not only do you zip in and you're able to grab him, but you have a boon dice is something where like you can set yourself up for like an advantageous situation. That's not enough to like necessarily get innocent bystanders out of there, but that's enough that you could either use it that when combat starts, somebody can get a bonus on one of their first attacks, or I would say, given the way you described it, you maybe find like a really safe place for him to hide. That unless they are very actively searching for him, they're probably not going to find him.
Yeah, I'm gonna stuff him into a broom closet right next to us. Just be like, here, you can keep this doobie, dude. I got plenty of them. Just like chill in here. I'll keep a lookout. It's whatever.
He looks like he's about to argue with you, but this isn't the first time he's encountered like superhero nonsense. And he just takes it, squints at you.
I kind of give him little finger guns, like, cool.
Okay. Well, I hope they don't kill you. There's a lot of assholes there.
Oh, don't worry. This grass is fast.
Okay. As he coughs a little bit as you close the closet on him. And then I think we'll pull up the initiative deck as kind of everybody's approaching their respective scenes, so to speak. Let's see what we have. Now, I know a lot of you guys have like some initiative chicanery. But right now we are set up where Tommy Chong, along with some cultists, are in the park. We have some cultists and the two other scenes basically have a mixture of cultists and some sort of leader amongst them. Pretty much all the scenes have innocent civilians around as potential complications for people that could get hurt in the crossfire. Right now, it looks like the initiative is lined up that we've got the villain first, then our support, the villain 3 more times, then the booster, then some minions, and then our striker, controller, leader, minor villain, and then Splicer again. So at the moment, it looks like Splicer has a lot of cards early on.
So can I do my fast action since you laid out the initiative track?
Hell yes, you can. What's that do for us?
I can move my initiative card 2 spaces forward towards the start of the track, and you said I was second, so I want to go first, please.
Hell yeah, you can go first. All right. Anybody else got any initiative?
I do. So I'm at the park, right? Is that where I am, or where am I at?
Yeah. You and Shortcut will be like just arriving.
Okay.
Fastgrass had a chance to do something because he was already there, so he got in his initial thing before.
So there's now 4 enemy turns in a row?
Yes.
I'm going to spend 2 hero points to move the 2 players after that up 1 spot each. So it'll be 3 enemies, 2 heroes, and an enemy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
So
this-
basically,
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
that sounds good. All right. Well, it makes sense that the speedster goes first. What you
Right.
gonna do?
Well, I have 3 hero points at the start of combat, right?
That's correct.
So this power stunt to do 3 hero points to make this use a quick power,
Mm-hmm.
how does that work?
What does
I'm
it say
sorry.
under the quick power bit?
Uh,
I think it lets you basically act twice, if I'm reading it right.
Yeah, it basically lets you act again at the very end of this initiative round.
Yeah, it's got a long cooldown. You can't do it all the time because
Mm.
you're gonna have to wait 3 turns for that cooldown to go away. But yeah,
Okay.
it basically will let you go twice this round.
Okay, cool. So I can still do a thing now, or is that?
Yeah, basically you'll be able to do something now and
All
again
right.
at the end of the turn. You're so fast
Mm.
that not only do you get to go first, but you also get to go last.
All right.
Nice.
So then I'm just gonna can I give advantage to someone? You said I could do that before with the other thing. I could like help somebody else out, or I could have helped the dude. So can I still help a person out somehow?
Yeah, you could spend your action, like if you can think of a way that you're using your super speed to help other people in the group, because you see these dudes approaching, you know they're bad news.
Mm.
Tommy Splicer's looking weird. You're not personally aware of what's going on with him, but you know something's wrong with him. You know how to read a situation, and he was bad news before anyways, and now he looks even more off. So are you thinking that you would want to spend your first action like trying to get some of the people out of here to prevent casualties, or
I'm thinking I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take like from as deep into the building as possible civilians and try and get them out first.
yeah, go for it,
And
man.
then like yeah, so I roll 100 again, right?
Yep,
All right, bet 40.
you do. So basically that's an automatic success. So you would kick off one of the complications, so to speak, for civilians, which will get you a hero point for doing that.
Okay, cool.
And then you got another pip for the boon dice, which you could pass on to the next person if you want, that they could roll 2 additional boon dice whenever they do their thing.
Who's after me?
Who is after you? Next up, we have the villain 3 times. And then following that, then shortcut.
Okay, so I would get the benefit. if you
Yeah,
pass
shortcut
on.
would get the benefit.
Can I do something else to disrupt those villains before? Because there's like 3 turns in a row.
If you get 2 boon dice, you can use that to get even more of the civilians out. Yeah, you know what? Do you want to basically just impair them with like 1 dice of chaos against them? Like basically you're zipping around so fast that you're trying to make things a little bit more awkward for them.
Yeah, I want to trip people while I'm moving people out. So like as people are disappearing out of the building, I just kind of want to like whoop, like little sweep of my foot as I go by and try and knock a little people off kilter.
Okay. Would you rather apply that towards the cultist or to Tommy Splicer, do you think?
Tommy Splicer, because he stiffed me on a dime, and
He did
I just want
stiff
to
you.
fuck his day up a little.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, nobody ruins the fast grass.
Nobody ruins the fast grass. Delightful. All right. So then on Tommy's turn. Oh, did we just get some bits?
Sure did.
Did we?
Oh my God. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Eddie, thanks.
Eddie's
That's
just
a hero point.
Yeah.
the best.
Eddie's the real hero of our campaign.
It's true.
He's the real
It's
good
true.
person.
Fine. So you guys have just arrived. You got Greg Futterman out of the crowd and you did it with super speed. So I don't know that he's really all that aware. So you kind of trip him up and he's going to spend his first action seeing if he can figure out what's going on. You messed with his whole shtick. He did not anticipate you being there. So you see him kind of sit back and he kind of goes into this calm meditative state. And you also have astral projection, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you're totally familiar with this. From one stoner to another, you know what stoned out astral projection looks like.
Oh, hell yeah. Every
And you
Tuesday
see
night.
him project himself and he starts searching around. And I'm not going to let him know where Futterman is just yet, but you see him successfully search around and realize that Futterman is no longer at the park. But he was just there. And you can see him kind of come back to his body, and he's clearly frustrated because he knows somebody has messed with his business. He's like, all right, I don't know who's here, man, but I'm pretty sure one of you is messing with me. And so for a second here action, it's like, so like anybody who has information on the whereabouts of Greg Futterman, like bring him forward and we can be friends, man. But like, if not, I'm going to like do some stuff. And you see him like very frustratedly like try to threaten the crowd and fail miserably. Like, come on, man. Like, somebody tell me where Greg is, you assholes. Like, what are you staring at me for? Like, this mob was already angry and riled up against people with powers anyway. So they are like completely ignoring him. And he's just growing more and more frustrated that nothing's going his way. So for his third action, he's going to lash out. And just he starts throwing a temper tantrum. He tries to use his power, and he's just too emotionally frustrated as he rolls another 90 something. And Tommy Splicer's just a really worthless villain. It happens. He's like, come on, man. You like, I could like, don't talk down to me, man. Like, you condescend me, I'll fucking kill you. Man, no, screw you, man. Like, bunch of entitled jerks. Wish I had lived in a fancy place with a park, man. I got powers. Sometimes I could use them to do things. As Tommy Splicer wastes 3 whole actions in a row.
Can I say something as a free action?
Of course you can.
So from like amidst the crowd, I'm just gonna be like, you said he used his powers. Is that like a visible thing?
He tries to. You're kind of tuned into it. I think whatever weird like devil weed induced state lets you do the astral projection. I think the two of you have like a weird like symmetry with each other. You pick up what he's doing. You see him trying to channel energy, and he just like his, man, he's just all out of balance. Like he's clearly like too upset to be focused.
But does like a visual effect happen at all, or does it just
To
completely
you, I would say
fizzle?
you can pick it up. Like your average person might not, but I think since you both have astral projection and a similar background, yeah, I'll give you.
Is it possible to try and convince someone with what I'm about to say?
For like for a dissection, it would need to wait until your turn.
Okay.
Like a
All
general like comment or something during the middle of combat. Yeah, of course.
I'll have to convince someone next turn then. That's fine.
But if you want to like mock him because he deserves it, you can totally do that for free.
Just like, hey man, that guy just like tried to turn to a ghost or something. He's one of those freaks, man.
Oh, okay. I'll let that be a setup for your convince someone later on in the round. And this may or may not be a crowd that's predisposed
for the end of my turn or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's delightful. That's wonderful. All right, so I think next up in our group is Shortcut.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll try and bust out an illusion here and have it be of Futterman, kind of like out of the corner of his eye, going somewhere away from the crowd, like he's sneaking out, but not, not doing it very well, to see if we can maybe draw these people away from the crowd.
That sounds like, just fair warning. This Tommy Splicer guy, he's a pretty sharp dude. This might not work.
But
I'm lying. This guy's dumb as dirt. It's a great idea.
It's worth trying.
It is.
It'll succeed. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see you over there, man. You better run.
It's 25 on 60, so
Yeah, perfect. You
have
do and you do.
Nice.
Um, the cultists in the crowd kind of see the illusion. Tommy is clearly frustrated, and it seems you see almost like like a sense of relief on his face, like something finally worked for him when he sees Futterman like trying to escape the crowd. He's like, "Thank God, man, this is really not my fucking day." All right, man, nothing personal. I'm about to come, fuck your day up, man. And then because of Chuck's chicanery, now we also have our striker take a turn. Meanwhile, that's over at the movie studio. See, you've set off the fire alarm.
Right. So you said there's two of them, right?
There's a couple. You actually like amidst the crowd, you see several like minor cultists. You do see one that has like a legitimate like as you've done the fire alarm, some of the pretense is lost, and you see one that there's kind of like a guy's just drops away, and his face is just a mismatch of burns, and he has like a legitimate cape on.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly like the head honcho
the
of this
head,
group of
yeah.
cultists.
The cultists themselves, are they grouped up or anything? Are they
Relatively clumped up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that this, like, I'm on a like that. This is like Uncle Creepy's got like different things. Like there's like a tentacle monster thing or something. What's that made out of? Is it like?
I'm assuming there's like thin light wiring and then like stuff kind of wrapped around it like cloth and whatnot. It's not like super high quality production, but it's enough that on camera it serves the purpose.
So I'm gonna like just lock eyes with the big guy and just, we gonna dance, son of a bitch. And then I'm gonna like the whole time watching him, I'm just gonna like walk on over to where this giant tentacle monster is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna very carefully set my hammer on the ground. Then I'm just going to tip it over so that it's falling on top of these cultists. But right as it's about to right as it starts to tip over, I'm gonna use my transmutation ability and I'm gonna transmute this into like gold, so that when it smashes on them, it's just smashing on them with like an immense amount of heavy materials. That's my attempt. Trying to like take them all down at once.
That's wonderful. I love that. So I'll roll some advantage dice for it because that's a great idea.
And I need 70 on my transmute, so I will go ahead. I'll burn a hero point, so you get your challenge because I gotta make it.
Okay.
Gotta burn our hero point, so that'll be, what is that? I always forget which way does this go, Jeremy.
So like normally you'd be rolling. Is this your 70% power?
Yeah, it's my 70%. So
it turns it into
80.
an 80% power basically temporarily.
So 78. And then I will go ahead and make this a feat of heroism, which will add 2 advantage dice to the roll. I'm assuming like they're an objective. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, there's both some innocents here, which you've mostly taken care of. There's a couple of strikers, but the cultists are considered minions.
Okay.
So your success takes away 1 pip of the minions, and then additional heroic dice. So even though you had 1 chaos dice pop up because you rolled 2 extra, you end up taking out 2 out of the 6 cultists of the minions, so to speak.
And then, now I always forget how this works with like with groups of minions. If I were to use my striker ability and tap into more to more damage, would that be able to reduce the minions even further?
Yes, even further.
I'll burn another hero point then to tap into my yeah, it says it actually on the card, so it'll reduce it by an additional 2 minions. So I'll spend another hero point. Yeah.
So nice. There were 6 cultists, now there are 2. As you just, I mean, it's perfect. Like you dump over this giant fake sea creature, switch it to gold at the last second, and
then I think I'll just go ahead and spend my extra hero point to kill the other 2, and I'll just get some other like tentacle that was falling too, and that'll catch the 2 that did the first one didn't catch. So I'll burn 2 hero points instead for my striker ability, just to clear
out of the way, just get crushed by another one.
Well, yeah, that would look really fun. Yeah, you lock eyes with a guy, you let him know you're coming for him, and then you just take out all of his support.
All of his allies.
I love the fact that there's like two of them that think they get out of the way, and just one more tentacle falls down on them.
Exactly. That's my turn.
That's
I will
delightful.
pick my hellhammer back up and just put it over the back of my shoulder and just grin at this son of a bitch who doesn't know what's about to come to him.
All right. So now we come back to Tommy Splicer, who, because he's an idiot and he totally believes your illusion he made, but he is really frustrated. So he's gonna try and use his like animation powers, and you see him take would be some fun stuff, but like several like park benches and like a couple of trees, and like they kind of they mush up together and just get launched through the air. A couple of those park benches had people sitting on them that, you know, one of them like has their leg crushed as it crumples up together, and they're like stuck in the conglomeration as it gets flung at your illusion. But unfortunately, he is not an effective or smart villain, but he does have a destructive quality in some of his powers for his power suite. He unfortunately does basically there's a negative pip towards the complications as he injures some bystanders. He doesn't hit Futterman because Futterman's not there, but you see some poor lady, her leg is mangled up in this park bench they got flung at nothing.
Yeah.
He's a
that
jerk.
didn't work out.
He's a stupid jerk. And then minions. So there are no minions left in Hellhammer's scene, but there are some minions over where Dr. Karloff is. How sneaky would you say your approach is?
I think I would just try to jump into action as soon as I possibly could.
Okay. We'll see you do. We'll you toss a couple officers out the way. And yeah, so some of the minions are going to try and turn. You're somebody that they know of, so they will try and blast at you. They do. And so as you kind of come onto the scene, you immediately teleport in. There was one police officer who was outside of the station who was trying to get in. You managed to teleport in, save him, but unfortunately left your back turned just enough that one of them grazes you with some hellfire on your shoulder for 25 points of damage.
Hooey.
It's pretty rough.
That's pretty spicy.
It is spicy. And meanwhile, we have some minions in the park. But once again, the folks in the park, I mean, thanks to like Futterman getting whisked away early, and the other heroes haven't really like publicly put themselves in there for harm's way. What would they do?
I was hoping that illusion would, draw them away so that somewhere we could beat them up without people seeing us.
But the thing is, he succeeded at his role, so he throws the thing at the illusion, and then it doesn't hit anything.
Yeah.
So I think the minions in the park are kind of at that stage of like they know something is up, even if they can't quite put their finger on it. So I think what they'll do, they're not as good at this as a PC, but they're going to try and lean into inciting a riot, basically. As you see one of them just kind of like, they kind of like look at each other, a few of them shrug. One of them just like elbows some random person in the face really hard. Another one like just ever so slightly, like not full on stab, but somebody actually does just kind of like shiv somebody just a little bit. And you see throughout the crowd, they all just kind of start committing acts of violence to try and get everybody worked up and freaked out.
And things aren't going very well for us over here.
I mean, the bad guys are nowhere close to doing their objective, but these are some really mean people doing things to innocent civilians. So unfortunately, like the opposed complication of like the safety of innocents in the park is not going well. you've very successfully prevented the villains from doing what they want to do. So that's the booster striker. Now it's the controller.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to teleport behind the force field and try to attack via teleportation the people responsible for generating it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've got the one guy who's kind of like clearly the leader of this group. You can tell he's the one putting up the force field.
All right. Yeah, he's the one I'm going to target then.
Go for it.
25 under 80.
Okay. You do. You do 25 points of damage to him. He actually has hit points unlike the minions. So you teleport in. You know, you're a trained fighter on top of the teleportation. You kind of, knock his shield away for a moment. You see him kind of debating whether or not maintaining that or attacking you, but he recognizes you. It's pretty clear you're going to. He kind of nods his head, almost kind of grateful for the opportunity.
I'll doff my hat to him.
All right. And then, for him. So I'm assuming this was a melee attack. Is that correct?
Yes.
You do notice as you come in and you kind of do probably a teleport like a 1-2 combo on him. You do feel some searing on your hands or your knees, however you strike him. It's not a lot, but you do take 10 fire damage.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Indeed.
Yeah, a lot of these cultist guys, like the low-level minions, you remember that they kind of burst into flames when you killed them.
That's
Some
right.
of the guys that are a little bit higher up actually just have like a passive fire aura, basically.
Vestige of flame.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, you put a good hurting on him. He's not superhero level tough. So next up, we have Striker Controller Leader, the Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah, so there's some assholes trying to start a riot in the crowd of innocents, right?
Yeah, and they're doing a pretty good job, unfortunately.
I am going to try and disperse the crowd and get some of those innocents to run away so they're not in harm's way. I'm going to do that through animal manifestation. By taking on the manifestation of a skunk. And I'm going to drop trowel and just run in there while just crop dusting the entire way. And hopefully the skunkiness of it will disperse everyone.
I love it. I'm going to give you some chaos because it is in the middle of something that's close to turning into a riot. But yeah, definitely. That's great.
And my roll for that is at 80, and I got a 51.
I rolled 2 chaos dice against you, and yet nothing came up. And you actually got 2 pips. So you not only get the success, but you get another. You get two hero points as you have swung this contested complication back into the favor of the heroes. It's not completely cleared yet, but it's very close.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, just several of like people crying, what is going on? You can hear like that Jeff Otterman guy's like, see, do you see what they're doing? Look at this man. Oh God, it's in my mouth.
Like everyone should get out of here, man. Like it's dangerous and stuff.
Yeah, Jeff Otterman definitely leaves along with his little retinue. Most of the people in the crowd, it's just wretched. It's the damn worst. They all run. Pretty much the only ones who can't are the ones that are like already engaged with nonsense.
Cool.
That was wonderful. I really love that. Okay. So now we get to our minor villain, Red, who's the one that Hellhammer had locked eyes with. Looks at his entire retinue all knocked down in a heartbeat.
You're next, you son of a bitch.
All right, and you do the motion, and you see him look like he's starting to like summon up some sort of fireball, and then you motion him forward, and he looks at all his people down, and instead of doing the fireball, you see him just envelop his fists in flame, and he kind of nods. Okay, and he comes for you.
All right, let's go,
He-
amigo.
He accepts the invitation, and he does hit pretty hard. He's gonna hit you for 50 points of damage.
just a scratch. It's the best you can do.
That is actually the very best he can do. He has to use a once per encounter ability to do that.
And I'm just gonna do one of those where he hits me. I'm just gonna come back up. That was cute. I'll show you how it's really done.
Yeah, it looks cool for a moment because he just comes lunging forward. He catches in. It looks like Kaioken basically. Just his entire body catches on fire for a second, and he's got that split second where he thinks he has you on the ground, and you just turn around. You kind of see like that little bit of doubt flicker in his eyes, equal measure doubt and anger.
I've been through the flames of hell. I've had not one but two demons wrestle over this brain. You think your tiny little fists of fury are gonna bother me?
Just kind of hoping so.
Well, you ain't right.
You see him like he doesn't like say it out loud, but you can see his mouth just kind of like. Especially as you say, is that the best you got? It's like, yes, that is the best I've got. Shit. And then we have our other minor villain, who after Dr. Karloff has come in, you've done a little combo hit on the guy. You did successfully make him take down his shield, and you hit him, and he turns around and he just kind of smiles. And I mean, you're engaging him in fisticuffs. I think he'll return the favor. We'll see if he's. And I feel bad doing it, but I'm going to use his once per encounter ability as well. And he'll do 50 points of damage to you as he just kind of. But for you, it might be more of like I think it's like an ear clap. Like Hellfire ear clap. He's just huge jerk. It's going to be hard for you to jump around like that when you can't get your bearings, won't it, Mr. Karloff?
Ooh.
It's okay. It's not so difficult. Just give in, and this will all be done very soon.
Eddie put some more bits out there. Thanks, Eddie.
Ooh, man. Eddie, you're such a fine human being.
What a good person.
Yeah, he is a good person. He's the best person. And then I think we're down to Tommy Chong before Fastgrass gets their second action. Not Tommy Splicer. Sorry. My thinly veiled ripoff. The sad thing is, I think at this point, Chuck, you might be you and Fastgrass are the only two heroes who've kind of like publicly put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm really like, I'm pretty like angry about all this. And like, I feel like he doesn't know who to attack. I'm going to say odd, he hits Fastgrass, and even he hits Mysterious Stranger. So he just, like, yeah, you come in, you turn into a skunk, you drop and try, and your spraying's like, man, like, that's just really fucking frustrating, man. Like, I've had it, man. Okay. So he will. Yeah, he'll give it a try. You see him take. What else is there? He's already thrown the park bench, and he imbued that with some other stuff. Like there's a booth nearby. So he'll take a booth nearby, along with, he just in his frustration, he's not even really thinking. He just grabs the two first things he sees. Like there's a booth, and then some lady was walking a bunch of dogs, and the booth and all the dogs just ripped together into some horrible nonsense, just blood splattering everywhere. And then he flings it at you as the dogs yelp in pain, and the stand stabs into your side for 39 points of damage.
Was that against me or Fast Grass?
Against you.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and activate my super toughness and reduce that by 20, so I'll take 19.
Fair enough. You don't get hurt that bad, but you do have some puppy smear on you. It's kind of gross.
That's rude, man. Like, I'm sure that dog was a good boy.
Man, I've had it, man. I'm going to lose it, okay? Like, I had a very simple thing that I wanted, and you guys, you're making me do this, okay? Like, this is your fault. You made me do this.
I don't think I did anything, man. Like, we're just having a good time.
Okay, man. Like, I am not having a good time here, okay?
You need a nap?
Yeah, man, I need a nap. So then Fastgrass gets the fast action at the end of the round.
So when this happens, I don't take away a timer token yet, right?
No, because it's still the same.
Okay.
Well, let me see how it's worded. Because usually you take off a timer token when you take a turn. After resolving this use, move your initiative card to the end. So it's the same initiative card.
Okay.
It's not like you got a separate initiative card.
Okay.
I think that would be the argument I would make, is because there are some things like special events where you might get two different cards, but because it's the same one, I don't think so. I think you need to wait until you have a new initiative card.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So in the midst of the chaos, he was thinking about trying to convince the angry mob to go after Tommy Splicer.
Mm-hmm.
But as everything kind of gets a little real and people are getting hurt, he's gonna kind of activate his super speed again. And in the midst of the familiar scent of skunk and that very familiar diesel smell, he's gonna spark up another joint and then proceed to save as many people as he can.
Okay.
While smoking a little puff.
That's probably a good thing, because while Tommy Splicer is clearly not a very effective villain, he does seem pretty good at causing mayhem.
Yeah, so he's just gonna stroll through and like grab people and lead everyone out and just nice and chill. Like, all right, I'm gonna
be fry on 300 cups of coffee when the museum's burning down.
Yeah, he's got to be the hero, man.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. All right, give us a super speed roll.
Oh yeah, I gotta roll dice. That's right.
You got it. You do, and you actually got 2 pips on the boon dice. That is enough to just barely sway the complication in your favor. You've got the innocents out of the park there was the potential for them to be in harm's way. So you've done a good job, and that will help counteract Jeff Ottoman. If you had not done that, he would have done a media blitz on you guys probably, but you've helped prevent some smearing on yourself, other than the puppy smear on Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's one round. That's a crazy round. Let me try and shuffle up the deck. I might have to ask. For some reason, it doesn't shuffle for me.
Should be good now.
Okay. You're an awesome person, Jeff.
Oh, thanks, Jerry.
Let me see if I can get you to kill another innocent person.
I mean, he was a carny. He's not that innocent.
It's true. Are they really people at that point?
I mean, they're people, but not like good people.
Yeah. Right? It doesn't really count.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we have a string of villain, minor villain, villain before heroes go. If anybody wants to do some initiative nonsense.
Can I do my fast action again?
I think so. Yeah, after the narrator has laid out the initiative track, but before it says before the first turn, but
Oh, okay.
For now, I'm going to say yes. I'll look into it more, but I like the idea. It makes sense to me that the speedster should be good at going faster in the initiative order. So for now, I'm going to say yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. I'll do that.
I'll bust out my shape-shifting ability to fuck with initiative.
Okay.
Where's the first bad guy turn? The first of the boss's turn?
He's going first right now.
Oh.
He's the first in the order.
Not anymore.
Okay.
He's now, that card goes to the last.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I take that first spot as I shapeshift into one of his cultists to get close to him.
Okay. I like it.
Where did the heroes fall after the villains?
So now that we've done a little bit of initiative nonsense, now it's going to be Mysterious Stranger first, then the guy who's on you, Dr. Karloff, and then Tommy Splicer, then Striker, Leader, Splicer, Minions, Speedster, Splicer, Booster, Miner, and then Controller at the very end.
Whew. Let's see.
Yeah, you think time control potentially gives you some sort of initiative thing?
Who was after the first Splicer turn?
After the first Splicer turn is Hellhammer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use my controller ability to move him 2 steps up the initiative.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Or not my
Alright.
controller ability, my time manipulation stunt.
Yeah.
After that, and that'll be my contribution to the initiative.
Okay.
Shenanigans.
Well, Chuck, you're first.
Sure. I'm going to bust out Animal Manifestation again.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and manifest the Ankylosaur.
Okay. Awesome.
My pants are still down.
Of course.
So my ass grows into a huge bone club. And I just spin around real hard and I just smash the dude with my ass.
Splicer, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to make this a power stunt so I can add plus 20 to the damage on it.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, that's a great description. I'll give you a couple of boon dice for that. If you're getting into melee, that's another boon dice.
Cool.
He's kind of a chaotic dude. So there's one cast that's for the most part.
So that's 46. 26. So it goes off. And with my extra 20 from the power attack, it goes to 46 damage.
Nice.
As I hit him with my bony ass real hard.
All right. That's the first damage he's taken.
Nice.
Man, did you just like grow a hammer butt? What?
I did, man. Like every now and then, you know what they say, like you gotta back that ass up, man.
Man, that's just. I'm gonna break your ass, man. I'm a race car in the red right now. Okay, I'm just like so angry.
You can walk away, man. Like we can all be cool, or like I can keep turning my ass into things and like attacking you with them, man.
We've got Hellhammer and now Heine Hammer.
Man, I'm gonna get burned in hell some more if I don't, do my thing. I really hate your ass, Hammer. So, it's been a hell of a day, man. Just a hell of a day. All right. Meanwhile, back to my villain. But I'm gonna have a Simo thing happen with the miner, like the cultist leader who's there with you, Dr. Karloff. You do see him wind up. He had just, did the hellfire clap to your ears, just kind of chuckling that, he thinks that he's disoriented you enough that you're not going to be able to teleport. And you see him kind of line up to try and strike you again. I'm going to do a roll, but I also want you to roll a D100 roll. Is there something that's happening simultaneous?
I got a 7.
Okay, so the dude punches you, but under normal is 5. He's only able to do 25 points of damage this time, which is still a pretty sizable punch.
Which would put me under.
Does it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, so he claps you in the ears, punches you on the bridge of the nose, and you see that he starts holding out the palm of his hand, like the hellfire starting to glow, like he's ready to do a coup de grace. And just as your vision is blurring, you see a shape leaping through the air and just smash on top of him as Big Frankie power jumps and coal cocks him in the back of the head.
Oh, snap.
So, yeah, that was something that was going to be called out to you earlier, but you didn't listen.
Oh, damn.
That makes it more exciting, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So, just as you're going down, you see Big Frankie jump in and just coal cock this dude in the back of the head, and he hits really hard. The guy goes down. So, on your turn, if you want, I'll let you roll on behalf of Big Frankie.
That sounds just perfect.
Okay. It seems fair. I think I like whenever you earn some goodwill with people and they come to help you out. It feels very comic booky. All right. So now we have Tommy Splicer's turn. He's like, man, I'm not feeling this, man. I'm pretty upset. And you see him, the part of... Where do you think you hit him with your hammer butt?
Right in the gut.
You hit him right in the gut, and you see that there's this horrible... There's a part where you can see where his ribs kind of crunch and tore away. It's obvious that his body is dead, and so it doesn't hold up the way it normally would. So a chunk of his rib cage and his belly have ripped away, and you see he's just so fucking livid that he reaches out, and there's the combination of the stand and the dogs and stuff that he reached out to you. He reaches, he leans on you like he's going to try and hurt you, and he doesn't do much damage. He only does 3 points of damage, but as he reaches out and he's just trying to choke you a little bit, you see that he absorbs some of the wood and bone and sinew of that shit, and it starts melding itself into the place that's injured.
Oh.
So not much damage. He just very weakly tries to strangle you because he's the most ineffective villain ever in direct combat.
Except for hurting innocent people.
It turns out he's amazing at hurting innocents, but when it comes to an actual fight, he just does not deliver. I'm okay with that. So next up we have our Hellhammer.
Jeremy, how many minions or villains have been defeated? I know I had my squad of minions, but did anybody else in any other scenes defeat anybody yet?
Your squad of minions is down. The minion leader, the minor villain with Jake, is down as well.
Okay, cool. So I gotta remember my new powers. I get the extra and such, and then I got one from Eddie. All right, so what else is I know you said there's a giant tentacle monster that just turned into gold and smashed people with, but are there any other things on set that you could think of?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're gonna have that sort of a prop, it makes sense they also have at least not a full ship, but something that looks like the ship that the tentacles would have been attacking, since it's kind of like the beast from below sort of thing.
Okay. So I think what I'll do then is I'm just going to quickly scramble. This is just going to be me. I'm going to kind of get the do a classic like Thor thing where I'm just going to get the hammer going. The hammer kind of you can see that the hammer also has like these different runes and sigils on it, and they start to inflame themselves as kind of orange fiery symbols. And I'm just going to kind of chuck it in the air, and I'm just going to go scrambling up to the deck of the ship, and then I'm going to like leap down. And as I'm leaping down onto this guy, grab the hammer that's falling down at the same time and just smash it right on top of this poor fool.
That sounds delightful.
So signature weapon.
Nice.
That's a success. And I'll burn 3 hero points to do an additional 60 damage. So bringing it up to basically 76.
And you also got 2 pips on Boon Dice. So he did his best shot he could on you. And then you completely outclassed him by a million miles. How terribly do you destroy this cultist?
So I don't want to like kill him or anything. I just want to drive him right down to the ground. And then I want to like get right in his face, and I'll open up his eyes, and I'm just going to look really carefully, and I'm going to see if he's an actual demon. I'm going to sniff for brimstone, and then like this really gross moment where I'm just going to kind of like lick the side of his cheek just to see if I can get any sense of like sulfur or anything like that. And if any of that pops up, then I'm just going to smash his head into the ground.
As you do that, you get something not too far away from like the predator chuckle sort of thing, as like there's a brief moment that you remember some of the other cultists that you defeated, that whenever they died, the little symbol flashes and their body incinerates.
Okay.
And you take a whopping 10 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As he kind of bursts in flames and there's nothing there but ash.
Oh, that's a pity.
Ariok grants them great power, but when they fail, he's not a forgiving patron.
Well, you took your shot. It wasn't good enough. And I'll turn and I'll look for Uncle Creepy.
Uncle Creepy he's running up, like every time you have ever encountered something, this chubby little old man and his like really, he's got the bad pale makeup and like a second tier Dracula costume. He's running up and he's like, "Where are they? I can do something. I can lay some hands. You need me? I'm here."
I know you can, Creepy, but I need to get my exercise in for the day. You see any more of these anywhere anymore?
I'll reconnoiter and I'll let you know if I find any.
Why don't you just stay with me for now, just in case? Let's just keep it together, right?
Back to back fighting the forces of evil, of course.
Hey, I need a sidekick, Hellhammer and Uncle Creepy. It just kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
You see his eyes grow 3 sizes with appreciation and excitement. Like it's Christmas right now for him to hear you say that.
Well, I am Santa Claus, so. And
rolls up his sleeves.
Let's go ahead and reconnoiter together, and we'll start looking around to see if we can find any more.
Yeah. He's terribly excited. All right. Mysterious stranger, you already did your shenanigans, so now we switch back to Tommy Splicer. What should he do? I think he's actually going to try and use a different power. He's used his animation power a lot, but he does have something different he can do. You see him maybe acknowledging that he's pretty terrible at all this. He kind of turns to the other cultists on the scene like, "Hey man, why don't you guys toughen up a bit and help me out here, man. Come on." And you see he kind of takes some of the earth and rock from around, and it's almost like he tries to bolster them, but he fails. He tries to use an augmentation power to make the minions tougher, and he fails. Like even his own minions, because they're not really his minions, they're Ariok's minions. He tries to boss them around. They all look at him. You think you actually see one cultist give Tommy Splicer the finger. And he gets no respect from these minions whatsoever. He's the worst villain ever. So now, and then he gets another turn, and he's just so goddamn livid at this point. That when in doubt, all right, man, fine. And realizing that with his splicing ability, he can augment his own body, he starts pulling together stones and trees and like forming himself into a larger form to try and to you. And he actually like he takes like some chunks of rock and tree and he gives himself a tree butt and he tries to hit you with a tree butt. See how you like getting hit with a butt, man. Like I'll break you with my ass. Except he won't. He'll miss.
God.
God damn it, Tommy Splicer, can you do anything?
I love Tommy Splicer. I think he's a great recurring character.
At this point, I almost want him to win.
Yeah,
You can do it, Tommy. Come on, you got this one.
You got this, buddy.
Oh man. Okay. So following that, now some minions go. The minions are watching and like they have no respect for Tommy Splicer, but you guys did piss off Ariok, so they kind of half-heartedly blast at you, Chuck. Like,
Okay.
You see them all shrug at each other, like, okay, pew pew pew. They hit you for 25.
Okay.
So it's 5 times number of heroes. Their heart's not really in it. You see them shoot you, and like they shoot you, they damage you, and then all of them in unison turn to Tommy, kind of like shrugging, like, "Come on, do you see us doing something? Why don't you do something?"
Such disrespect.
Yeah, they have no respect. And then following that, he gets another turn. He's just so angry, but it's just this incompetent rage, and he doesn't know what to do with it. So he breaks off his own tree ass and tries to smash you with it.
He really laid a log on that one.
And he fails horribly. He like completely loses his grip on the log and it goes flying off.
Oh, I've got a plan for this. My turn's up next.
You know, that's what happens when your ass is made of ash.
Oh. It's like a tree, man.
Mm-hmm.
A tree joke.
Pretty birchy, if you ask me, but
He's
it's fine.
It's hard to tell, like, when an undead person is crying, but you're pretty sure you see at least, like, little drops of moisture in his eyes. He's so frustrated that he's almost crying now. Like, man, I just didn't want to burn in hell anymore. And, like, why can't you just let me kill you? I just want to kill you so I don't have to go to hell. Come on, let me kill you, please.
Let him kill you.
Come on,
guy.
No, man. No.
Okay. All right, shortcut, it's your turn.
Oh, perfect. Well, wherever that limb went, I'm going to open up a portal in front of it, I assume flying off in the distance, and have it swing back around behind him.
That's delightful.
Let's see. It's a 1.
I like to consider in this system, there's not official criticals, but I like to think that a natural 100 is a crit fail and a nat 1 is a crit hit. So, yeah.
This one's gold money then.
It is. I'm going to say that tree, like, it doesn't do much damage, but it impales him to the ground.
Nice.
Why are you doing this to me, man? I just wanted to kill you. I'm just having a really bad day, man. Just having a really bad day. All right, Fast Grass, it's you. As you watch Tommy Splicer pathetically crying.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of just zip on over while still smoking my doobie over to the mysterious stranger and just kind of lean against him a bit all casually while puffing away, looking down at Tommy Splicer and just be like, "Hey man, long time no see," and I offer him the doobie to hit to the mysterious stranger.
Yeah,
While still
man.
looking down at Tommy Splicer, I'm gonna motion him with my free hand and be like, "Man, this guy stiffed me on like a doobie a couple years back. Like, don't listen to his crocodile tears, man. He's just killing the vibe right now. You just gotta deal with this dude. But you know what though? You're doing such a good job. I'm so proud to call you a former frat bro,
Sure
you
thing,
know?
man.
And that's my support action with my last hero point to
Mhm.
give him 30 resistance.
Okay.
And you can still take your turn too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a thing?
Yeah.
All right,
So
well,
that
I'm gonna use my is there any civilians left in here?
fortunately they did get cleared out earlier.
All right, is there any
There's
other
still several. None of the cultists have been harmed.
All right, can I only attack one at a time or
So the cultists that are here are kind of like under minion rules, where you don't have to beat each of them individually. Like you kind of just
Succeed enough.
yeah.
Oh, well, I just want to use my super speed and just
Mhm.
kind of ping pong ball between all of them at once, like multiple times. Just ping, 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 ping.
Oh yeah.
Kneeing them all in the, just kicking them in the shins and the
Okay.
nuts and, just meh.
Okay. Give it a
So,
go.
boop.
The
60.
success takes out one. You got 2 boon pips that popped up, so that takes out another one. So you've taken out 2 out of the 6 here. As you just
Would
kind of
there
pinball
be-
around. A couple of them are bruised. A couple of them do legitimately drop.
Would there be benefit if he rolled some more boon dice?
Potentially.
Maybe I'll spend a hero point and have him roll those last 2 again.
Okay. Okay. So what does the spotlight do for you?
When I roll 4 boons on a single roll during a conflict scene, I can take the spotlight to gain the following benefits until the end of the scene. I
Okay.
regain
Bizarrely good
20
luck.
resistance every time I perform a teamwork maneuver. I gain 5 hero points, and I can take 2 different actions each turn.
Wow. So yeah, go ahead and take another action as you pinball around and how because this is like your flash, your spotlight moment. What is it that you're doing that's just above and beyond making this look super cool?
He's just literally just hands in his pockets. Well, one hand in his pocket, the other one smoking the doobie, and just kind of casually going up and like stomping on one guy's foot and then just shuffles over to another guy, knees him in the crotch, shuffles over to another guy, kind of yawns, leans against the dude for a second while everything's in slow motion and just kind of push him to the ground, into like the concrete or something and like go to the last couple and just ad nausea, just really lackluster, but like just one good hit while he has the moment to do so. And so you said one more action.
Yeah.
Who's the next hero in the lineup?
The next hero in the lineup is Dr. Karloff / Frankie.
All right, so he's not near me though, right? He's in another area.
He's in a different scene, so unfortunately, you're not really able to heal him up.
All right, who's the other dude that's after him? The next teammate.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So I can't do a teamwork maneuver. Do I? Can that roll over to the next turn?
Yeah, sure. Basically, a teamwork maneuver actually usually happens on the other person's turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna save that action for a teamwork maneuver.
So a teamwork maneuver doesn't take your action; it just takes a hero point.
Oh.
So like if like for example, Chuck is doing his hammer butt, and you're like, "That's really funny. I'd love to spend a hero point and somehow give him some bonus dice."
Okay, got it. So then, I guess I'm just gonna use my super speed again. And are they gonna be taken out, or can I take the rest out? And
You could take out some more cultists if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna like grab one, like grab the other, and like ram them together. And because of the
Okay.
difference of speed, with it being super slow, it's like Mach speeds to them, and
That's
kind of,
delightful.
kind of like tripping one over the other and trying to just take all of them out.
Okay.
Oh, I got to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like that 8.
You do and you do, and you take out 2 more. Now there's only 2 of them left. You see the 2 of them kind of like look at each other, and they look at the impaled, crying Tommy Splicer, and you see them both kind of like toss up deuces at you, and they start kind of doing the thing where like they're backing away, like looking to see if you're gonna let them walk away.
Can I do a hero point to do something?
What would you like to do?
Just they're walking away, right? There's 2 of them, you said?
Yeah, like the last couple of them are like looking at the scene. They
Yeah.
realize that Splicer isn't holding his weight, and the 2 of them aren't gonna be enough to deal with, you know.
Can I tie them into a human pretzel?
On your
Just
next action, you can.
oh, okay. So
I
then
love that.
yeah.
I,
So I
I,
can't really do anything then yet.
yeah, I mean, you took out 4
Right,
cultists. I
right,
mean,
right. Okay. No, I was
I
just
will
making
say for
sure with the hero
flavor,
points.
you tie up a couple of the ones that you took down into a pretzel.
Yeah, that'll work.
Like
Cool.
they're looking at you, and you're like tying up their friends as they back away, like questioning their life choices, and
I just take a toke while staring at them, waiting.
Are all the minions dead?
there are only 2 more minions left. They're the ones who are.
Could he burn that hero point to like increase his like damage or something? You know what I mean?
I don't. Do you have with the striker ability?
Oh,
You
that's
can.
the striker ability. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
But you've got that, but he doesn't. He's got a healing thing.
Mine just does I can add my success by 10. So I could technically do it and turn that 8 into a -2. Haha. But
Yeah.
nah, I think I'm good for this turn.
Let's see. So the minor villain who was on Hellhammer is already out. All that's left now is Karloff / Big Frankie. So, Dr. Karloff, you're there, but like your head is woozy. That guy, like between the head clap and then he just punched you right between the eyes.
Largely out of scene.
Yeah. But Frankie has landed down. The cultist leader is out, and then you just have all these minor like cultists around Frankie, and he was already in a bad mood, man. Like he already got in a fight with a cop for hitting his son, and like the one dude who showed any faith in him is laying on the ground. Frankie's about to lose his shit. What does Big Frankie do to these cultists?
He's just gonna start tossing out as many knuckle sandwiches as he can.
Do you think he would choose to use an ability that lets him do a hell of a lot of damage to one person, or use an ability that lets him hit one person and then throw them into another person?
Oh, definitely the second.
Okay. Roll a D100.
All right. 67.
Okay. Roll another. Wow. He rolled 4 boons. What does it look like when Frankie takes a spotlight?
Well, rather than picking a guy up and throwing him at another guy, he's gonna take a guy's head and throw just the head at another guy.
Kind of like just as they're going unconscious and they're about to poof into flame, he throws it at another person.
Oh yeah, just like a bottle cap, just right at another guy.
That is delightful. So yeah, he takes out 3 basically.
Exploding head grenade.
Mm-hmm. I think at that point we kind of reached a situation where Tommy is impaled. Most of the leftover cultists, the ones that are there, were not expecting Frankie to show up and start destroying them. And the ones at the park have no faith in Splicer. So most of the cultists are willing to run away if you'll let them.
I don't know if
not.
the cops will be willing to let mine cultists run away, especially now that
Yeah.
their force field's down.
Yeah, maybe they try to run away from Big Frankie, but just run into a line of fire.
That
I dig that.
sounds doable.
Okay. So in a strange turn of events, Big Frankie works with the police?
Good for his PR, though.
Yeah.
Maybe. There is the possibility you could try and spin that.
put that down toward his work release program. His community service.
That's pretty much the end of the turn. What about you guys at the park? Do you think you let the cultists who are trying to back away from the park get away, or no?
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose it depends on how the turns fall out.
No.
But
Yeah. I'll say if you guys concentrate your effort, they go down. And then you just have poor Tommy Splicer, who also has he has a deficit or a disadvantage on him called overextension. That after 2 turns, he gets tired. So not only has he failed miserably, but now this is the turn where he's just pooped.
and he's also pinned anyways.
He's pooped out. He's pinned. You take out the cult. He's I just want to. He's gonna. Oh no! And you just see the ground underneath him, like a pit of fire starts to open from the earth, and you see all these hands reach up and underneath, and you hear some horrible voice. I'm displeased. And you see this giant hand just yank him down into flames. Oh man! Why wouldn't you let me kill you?
Wait, man, you still gotta pay me back for the doobie.
Don't forget payment for the doobie. No. Yeah, I think at this point Ariok just decides that he's made a bad investment and pulls Tommy Splicer back into hell.
Oof.
I'll have to try with another villain.
Poor Tommy Splicer. He couldn't.
Jesus, that was just...
He had some pretty tough powers. He had the potential to do a lot of damage, but just...
Well, I mean, he swung a tree with his ass at somebody.
Yeah.
And then had it immediately sent right back to him.
I did enjoy that.
yeah.
That was pretty delightful. See, there's a lot of chaos. So for the folks who are at the park, that Jeff Ottoman guy was willing to run away in the midst of the chaos, but it's not too long after it's all done. You see him, you can see him on the outskirts, bringing forward some guys that have cameras. You see him he's and you can see here the devastating effects of these cretins and their villainy and their destruction of our city.
Can I do
women and children and puppies? Look at that puppy smear.
Can I do a convince someone skill?
You could certainly try, because he's trying to get on the air and smear you guys.
Yeah, can I use a hero point to boost that, or is that only for
Basically the boosting your skill roll is if for some reason you failed, your hero point increases your
okay,
chance.
so that's if I fail. Okay.
Let's say you've got an 80% or something.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spend 2 hero points.
Exactly. You spend the 2 hero points, you get yourself up to 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He's
walk
in the middle
over and I'm gonna interrupt him. Just kind of put my hand on his shoulder. I'm still blazed out of my mind, so I'm still pretty chill.
Just this stone dude
Yeah.
walks into camera.
Just
wearing
red-eyed
a weed leaf on his...
in a superhero costume. Just gonna be like, hey man, we did the best we could. There were people stabbing people out there. It was gonna get a lot worse, just be glad that these people got out safely and it wasn't something crazy. You need to go home and meditate on this. You really need to rethink your situation, man.
You see he wants to try and talk back to you, but you're just too laid back that he can't find the opening to really like shut you down. And eventually realizing he's not going to be able to talk over you, he just starts, telling them to stop rolling the camera. You just see him, he glares daggers at you, doesn't say anything, but just is nonplussed.
Just gonna kind of nod and offer to shake his hand. Just kind of half lidded and like a little smile, like, hey man, have a great day, okay? Thanks for coming to the shindig.
Thanks for coming to the shindig.
That's great. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Meanwhile, back at the studio, Hellhammer, you and Uncle Creepy probably do find one or two like cultists that were like sneaking out and about. Nothing that would be difficult for you to take down, but I think the big question is, do you let Uncle Creepy take a swing at one?
Oh, for sure. I'll totally I'll hold the guy's arms and everything, like to make sure it's an easy hit, or I'll do whatever I can to just really boost this guy's self-confidence.
All right, give me a percentile roll.
Okay. 67.
Because you're holding him.
Okay.
Uncle Creepy does manage to like,
and so then I'll be like, all right, now back up. Watch this. This is hilarious. And I'll drop him on the ground. And then did they turn into the ash and stuff again? And like, so once you're done, the old 1-2, step away, put some space between you so you don't want to get burned. Okay. You don't want to get burned.
Right.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna work him to the limit, right? And then I'm gonna let you finish him off. The old 1-2.
That's right. We gotta find you like a signature weapon or something like that. What are you thinking? Like, I got this. Now, like, have the hammer, and then I'll start like pulling out like different toys. Like, what do you think about this one? It's like a saxophone. Like, nah, this ain't quite right. Boom. And I'll pull out a different toy and I'll take a look at it. Fire truck. Nah, that doesn't really make any sense. Okay, pull out this. How about this? And it's like a shovel or something. Like a shovel, like an undertaker or something like that. Maybe that works, right? Like a grave keeper.
It's just like the one I asked for on my birthday.
Oh, here you go, buddy. I'm just happy to oblige. You've been a good boy. You don't want to be on the naughty list.
I've stayed off the naughty list for many years, and I'm going to lead the rest of these kids through the right and proper path of good and, wholesome horror, because you can scare the good into the children, and that's what I do. I scare them straight, and I'm going to keep them on the good list for you.
Okay, that sounds good. And you just keep an eye out now. I don't want you going in like whole hog into everything just yet. You see some sons of bitches around here, you make sure you call old Hellhammer and I'll come lend you a hand.
Gotcha. See something, say something. Will do.
Go. That's a good slogan. That's a good one. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was fun. This was good.
You see the old man kind of do the thing where he's holding the shovel and he kind of like does the whole awkward, like sort of like spreads the arms, like he's kind of goes in for the hug.
I'll do like a early like kind of half hug. I'll grab him by like the hand and kind of pull him in and do like kind of the shoulder.
If you even at all acknowledge that it's the full fledged. He's probably a full head and a half shorter than you. Yeah, but he's got that weird old man strength that once you let him in close, he's just so happy. He got to punch a villain in the face, and you got a gift from like a weird Santa Claus dude.
Perfect.
So happy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh,
you and Mr. Koloff, any of you guys, you need anything ever, everybody knows me at the studio. I know everybody here. I know all the places you need anything. You tell me. I'm here for you.
You got. I know you are. You're part of the team now. Part of the team.
I'm part of the team?
Yeah. Whenever we need help, you're like you watch basketball. You're like the sixth man. When we need a sub, we're gonna tap you in.
Uncle Creepy, the sixth man.
There you go. I like it.
I like it.
Okay. Perfect.
I can't wait to get home and tell my wife about this.
Oh. Yeah. Don't forget. Gotta have secret identities to protect those that you love, right? There you go.
Got it. Okay.
Be careful. And definitely don't go saying, I'll let you do any of this kind of stuff, because there's one thing I don't want. There's an angry wife coming at me.
Mrs. Creepy has a hell of a backhand, if I hear right.
That's right. She is unrelenting.
Yeah,
That's probably a good call on your part.
Right. Hey, I've been at this a while. It's gonna bring you under my wing. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, he kind of runs off, and he's just as delighted as he could possibly be. You've really made his day.
Yeah, I feel like, and like I just feel like for a moment I'm like, why am I being so nice? What the hell did these Santa powers do to me? It's strange. Okay. It's my new lot in life, I suppose.
Yeah, you make the best of it.
Yeah.
And it's not all bad.
Yeah. And I'll just like look around and I'll just find like some of the dust pile and I'll just be like, just shuffle it with my feet. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Take it. Just so I can feel bad again.
Good.
And then out goes I'm gonna pull out the sleigh mobile, the hell sleigh, pop into it, and I'm gonna go riding looking for the crew.
Nice. Meanwhile, back at the station, there's a little bit of awkwardness. Dr. Karloff, you're kind of coming to. You were only dazed for a little bit. It's not like a full blown like you're put out of commission. But as you're kind of like getting back up on your feet, your head was ringing. You kind of come to a somewhat difficult situation because Big Frankie does not have a good reputation with the cops, and they already have guns drawn anyways. You see, as you're kind of like your ears stop ringing, you can hear the yelling back and forth between the police officers. And Big Frankie, let's just say he's not like a gracious or well-spoken man. You know what, Juan? You just go fuck yourself. I'm not here for you. I'm here for him. You want to point your gun at me, man? Y'all, come on. I'm gonna break that. I'll make you eat it. And you see, like, he does just grab some cop's gun. Around the time you're coming to, he's grabbed a gun and he's just crushing the gun in his hand.
Oh, I'll kind of pat Frankie on the shoulder and say, "Let me tag in. That's destruction of police property." I'll take the gun ball from his fist and I'll hand it back to the cop and I'll say, "You let me handle this. This is a supervillain after all, and I am a superhero. I was trained to handle things like this. I swear. Here's, and I'll just kind of drop it on the ground."
Yeah, either you listen to him or I'm gonna handle you.
I'll try to, I'll even try to make this a roll to,
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, geez. That's just an anything else in my case, I suppose.
Fair enough.
Oof. Okay.
You try to convince him, but after he's already crushed one cop's gun, you see a couple more of them they draw, and they start to fire at Big Frankie. And you see him for a moment, he wants to attack them. And instead, they shoot him a couple times, and he's tough enough he can take a little bit of small arms fire. You see him reach back, and he's about to clock one, and he looks at you speaking on his behalf. And instead, he just flips a cop car up in the air and says, "Fuck you all," and just leaps off into the night.
You look at the cops and say, "You want more of that? Be my guest," but I wouldn't if I were you.
That's about as good as you're going to get from Frankie if you shoot him.
Yeah.
He did not attack them.
Angry.
He's had a bad couple of days.
It's true.
Give me some time to work with him, and then I'll teleport away.
And then back at the park, after a little bit of time, you guys have cleared things out a little bit. You've, gotten Jeff Waterman out of here. He's realized he's not going to be able to stir up any further trouble. After a while, Futterman comes stumbling back to the park. He's finished the joint that you gave him, and he is not accustomed to the level of stuff that you have.
Probably not accustomed to smoking it in a closet, too.
Yeah. What did I miss? Hey, I know you. I know you, and you. I see you're fast.
Yeah, man. It's just the grass that's fast.
It's
Do I have
fantastic.
super speed too?
Maybe. Go ahead and try. I'll watch.
See,
Whoa! You're so fast! Slow down, dude. Wait.
and he trips and falls on the ground, but he's still just like punching out, thinking that he's doing super speed.
Fantastic.
It's great.
You got to be careful because when you're moving super fast, you could trip and fall like that, guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna help him up and dust him off a little and be like, "Yo, man, keep it up, and maybe you can like go even further next time." You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a hero.
No, I don't want anything. I don't want that. No, that's a no. I'm glad I know you. I'm okay. I don't know you, but I know you. We're friends. You, I love you, and you, I love you. As he points to Shortcut and the mysterious stranger.
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that Ottoman's a fucking dick. I
Yeah.
really don't like him.
Yeah, he stole a dime bag from me.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that? Like,
I mean, I've stolen a dime bag before.
dude, not cool.
I know. I'm not proud of it. But like, I feel like I can be honest with you, and like, I'm trying to be a better person. I should find the person I stole it from and say I'm sorry.
Maybe you should just like pay him back.
I'm gonna go do that tonight.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm gonna mend some fences right now.
I give him a little peace sign. I'm like, go to him.
You guys are all right. So kind of in the you've successfully stopped the most incompetent villain ever, and put a lot of cultists down. Is there anything particular you guys wanted to do to kind of wrap up that night, or in the aftermath?
At some point, we probably all reconvene,
Mm-hmm.
debrief, right?
Yeah.
I'll fill them
Probably
in
got to
on
get
like
park bench laid to the hospital.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna like be that awkward tag along who like nobody asked to leave yet, and he's just followed them back just casually.
yeah. So I'll be talking to mysterious stranger and Karloff and be like, yeah, and like Karloff, you ever need to Uncle Creepy said, who the fuck's this guy?
Oh, that's fast grass, man. Like back when I was a college student, we were friends for a while, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
back when you were which college student?
The not yuppie one, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
We pledged an alpha beta thigh.
Yeah, man. That was right after I got done being a koala for a while.
Man, you were a
Karloff is just gonna
koala?
grab the bandage on his head, then lay back in his hospital bed.
Yeah, man. I had to call that one quits early. I didn't realize how rampant chlamydia was among the koala population.
It's true.
It's true. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I decided to be the second creature on the planet most likely to get chlamydia. And I went with the frat dude.
That's
Improvement.
delightful.
Yeah,
Not
all
by
right.
much.
So, yeah. Also, I don't know if y'all heard this, but they might want me for murder, so I probably should keep a little bit of a distance between Commissioner Gordon, just in case.
Ooh.
Long story, don't worry about it.
I'm good
Have
with
you
that,
ever
man.
tried taking out like a fake life insurance policy and faking your own death, man? I could help you with that.
Oh, I got an idea, man. I'll just turn into you, and then we have someone shoot me in the face.
Like it.
That's an amazing
And
use of your special power.
Jesus Christ.
And then you could do that life insurance thing. And I'm scot-free.
Your
Okay.
money and your scot-free, man.
Wow.
Stop living in a log cabin under a melted H.
I think I have a life insurance policy of like $25 in a bag of beans or something.
Back in the
Really
60s,
much.
that's like you can go to college for $25 back then.
I could join Alpha Beta Phi.
Yeah, man.
I ain't too
Had
smart.
some friends who used to be here.
Yeah, you look out the window of their like log cabin that's in the Hollywood Hills, and you see that like the big H that's supposed to be part of the sign is like all distorted and like crumpled near their home.
That's just Owlywood.
Now it's just Owlywood. Note to self: owl villain.
That's great.
Mr. Owl. How many licks does it take to get to the crust of the earth?
Exactly.
1, 2, 3. The
Gosh.
fucking
Well,
liar.
At least we know we have 2 rounds to take him down.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. After that, everywhere is a volcano.
That's delightful. All right, well, I feel like that was a pretty good combat. Like, man, Fastgrass really making an impression on his first appearance.
Yeah.
Spotlight right off the bat. It's great.
Just straight vibing, dude.
Yeah, I love it. Like I say, if there's anything else anybody wants to do, kind of before we close out, you know, I'm open if any of the characters want to do a personal beat. If not, that feels like not a bad place to end for a night. I suppose we can flip over and let people talk about all their amazing things that they do and where we can find them. Maybe we'll go in reverse order and we'll start with our, I won't call you a big level bear, because I know you're sensitive. We'll just...
It's okay.
Okay. This beautiful, beautiful bear that we call Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jeff, Adventures in Lollygagging. We play various tabletop role-playing games on the internet. You can find us at twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We also play on Free League Publishing channel as well. Next game we have on deck is Best Left Buried on Saturday at 5 Central. And on Monday, you can catch Jeremy and Chuck in this game. We'll be playing Alien over on our own channel at 9 Central. So here you go.
Awesome. And then, Jake, you beautiful bastard, do you have any words for us?
No, not particularly. I think just stay tuned to more Defenders of Cobalt. We'll have some more shenanigans coming your way every once in a great while. You can also check us out on Twitter at Cobalt Defenders, and just keep up to date whenever we stream, whenever we release a new thing, like whatever product or project we're going to be working on in the future. It's about that.
Cool. Thank you, man. Oh, man. Mr. Substances Used, you lovely, delightful man. Thank you for being here. Tell us more about yourself. Where can we see more of you?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm Substances Used. I guess Chuck just told me I'm also now a defender of Kobold, so that's pretty cool. Hi.
Hell yeah.
Fancy stuff.
Whether you
You
like
can
it or
catch
not.
me on my channel on Substance Used. Usually when I'm streaming, I'm just hanging out, chilling. I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. Probably gonna start streaming some Rust because of the new update. That's been a trip and a half. So yeah. 18 plus, no kids, please.
That's fair.
Yeah, we're borderline here as it is. So.
Yeah, I mean, ass hammers. That's
I was
par for the
waiting.
course.
My next thing was Bombardier Beetle, and I was just going to spritz him with my asshole with acid. Acid.
The
beef
Goblins
juice.
games that Jeremy runs on here are definitely children friendly. Right?
Yes.
I still like
That's rated
They'll
G.
laugh at everything that happens.
climbing into Cthulhu's ass and piloting him like
Yep.
a mech by using his prostate.
I still remember.
I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that
Still remember
story.
like the feeling when I said it. I felt like, okay, that's what I'm part of it now. Like that was the moment right there. I'm
I'll
like,
drag you down to our level.
Take a second and you look back at the point of no return you just crossed.
right over there. That right there.
You know, there's something really special when you feel like you've encouraged the best in others. You know, and that's the real joy of being here.
Except we're going like for the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
different
reverse
kind of
best.
Yeah.
Speaking of prostate driving, Dan, tell us about yourself.
Oh man. I don't know where you go after that transition.
I know, I'm a son of a bitch.
I don't got too much more that we haven't said already, but you can check out our Discord. You know, all of us are there, and you can come chat us up and talk about our streams and what other horrible decisions we've made or will make yet.
Give us all your memes so we can steal them and be funny in other Discords.
Truth.
Please.
That is a good point. And then our HBIC, this lovable son of a bitch up at
Oh
the top
my
left.
gosh. You're watching the channel. Like, follow, subscribe. We're also on YouTube. We've got shit every Wednesday, either Spectaculars or Rime of the Frost Maiden. Rime of the Frost Maiden is using the Weird Frontiers, formerly Dark Trail system. Every Friday, we're either playing 5th Ed D&D in our Evil campaign or some Mutant Year Zero. I also play in shit in Jeff's games. I also play stuff on Notorious DMG, Steam Steel Murders. Actually, I'll just hit Friends, and you can see all the places, all of our friends. Check all those people out. But the big thing that we need to plug is today we just released the newest issue of our zine, Defenders of Cobalt Presents Jeremy Dies in the End.
Wait, what?
Yeah, out today. And I feel so happy about that I just put a link in the Discord. 3 free copies to whoever clicks that link first.
What?
There you go.
3 copies.
3 free copies. So get you a free copy right there.
And then when you're done getting your free copy, buy another one. Why
Yeah,
not?
go buy the
True.
ones you haven't read yet. There you go.
Yeah, the other two are entertaining. So
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so that's what we got. You're following me. You also find me Saturdays on Free League Publishing or Goodman Games Official.
Awesome.
There.
Well, thank all of you so much for another really enjoyable evening. For everybody who
Jeremy,
watched,
I believe there's a podcast that you do that you haven't said anything about. That's really
that
strange.
is true. I do love comics, and I've got a couple buddies that we do a podcast called the Plewdcast, Plewd. And yeah, it's a pretty good time. We're about to record a new session tomorrow night on the John Ostrander Spectre run. It's a personal favorite of mine. But yeah, thank you. I'm not good at plugging myself. Like I think there's a
gotten
part of
a
my
lot
brain that
better.
wants to avoid it.
Yeah, oh yeah. But you used to just avoid it entirely. Now you're like, I feel like you have it ready to go. You just need that little reminder every now and then.
Oh, shucks. Thank you. Well, you're wonderful. And all the people that are watching, you're wonderful too. Be spectacular to each other and keep on gaming. Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Everybody.
Gotta find the right mouse. There it is.
Bye.
Goodbye.